Alright, what is up guys? This is AhoyMateyz here, and today I'm bringing you a little different video. Today, I'm bringing you sort of a talk time with Ahoy, where this is kind of a new series that I'm going to be starting on my channel, where I sort of have a topic that I talk about, and I just sort of talk about it and give my opinion. Now first off, this is a sort of disclaimer video. This is a sort of disclaimer. These are going to be my opinions and my opinions only, and if you don't care about my opinions and you don't agree with me, you don't have to watch the video. To be plain and honest with you, these are just my opinions on whatever the topic is, and I figured this topic to start out, the new summer HG kit changes, and recently they were started on June 6, 2014. I decided to make this first episode about that, as they are something that sort of bring up some opinions when they're talked about, and sort of wanted to give you guys my opinion on them, what I think about them, and just ignore the gameplay in the back, just something for you guys to watch as I talk, because I know some people don't like to just watch a black screen while someone talks. You guys can also just click out of the video and just listen to it while you PvP or something, you know, sometimes I like to do that. And yeah, so the gameplay is not good at all, I die in it, so you know, whatever. But I decided to get something out there so I could just get this sort of video out there to show you guys, you know, give you guys my opinion on the topic. So let's get right into it. Looking at the page right now, first kick change was to Berserker, and they sort of changed Berserker back to the way it used to be, which could be a good thing and a bad thing. For the first part, this is what they say: Berserker has been changed back to a similar style it used to have. When you kill a player, you'll get Bloodlust 15 seconds, Strength 160%, and it's slightly more than Strength 1, so it's a little bit better than it was before, but still not up to the OP-ness that it was. OP-ness, of course. OP level that it was before they nerfed it. So, and also, a disadvantage to when you get Bloodlust is you lose your ability to jump. So what this is basically going to do is it's basically going to prevent players that have the Bloodlust from being able to chase you down. So if you see a Berserker kill somebody and you see the strength particles, you can run away and they won't be able to catch up to you, providing you know how to sprint jump, because if you're sort of a noob to Minecraft, sprint jumping allows you to run faster than if you're just sprinting and not jumping. Just a quick tip out there for anyone who doesn't know that. Probably most of the people that are subscribed to my channel know that, but just letting you guys know. So basically, when you kill a mob, you'll get Bloodlust or 10 seconds of Strength 1, which is a buff than it was before. I don't even remember what it was before. I think you got like weakness and speed or something like that, something really bad. But I like the Berserker changes in my opinion. I think it really gives the kit more usefulness. I think we're going to see a lot more people using the kit. We'll have to see how that factors into teams and stuff. Berserker used to be a great kit to take on teams, and I think with the 160% strength, it's really going to be a lot better now. And we're going to see a lot more people utilizing it. Alright, so the second change was to Poseidon. And Poseidon has had its strength increased from Strength 1, which is 130%, to 160 as well. Okay, so the 160%, which I haven't really tested myself, I could test it and put a little clip at the end of the video showing you guys the differences in power of it if you guys want. I probably will end up doing that, so look for that at the end of the video. And so basically the same part of it where you'll get slowness, you won't be able to drown while you're moving underwater, which is part of it in previous editions of the kit. And also a new addition to it is, if you remember back when Poseidon, in previous nerfs of it, you were able to just dip yourself in water and then get the speed and strength buffs for the allotted time that I think it was like 5 or 10 seconds, and be able to still use it while you're on land. They have removed that and changed it so that instead you'll get slowness for 5 seconds every time you get out of the water. So it completely counters that little use to that kit that people used in the previous versions of the kits. So Hades has been back to its old standard or whatever. I've never used that kit, so I'd never really know. Tarzan's got its gotten buffed a little bit. Tarzan will take no fall damage when landing on leaves, and they get speed 1 when running through jungles, which can be useful because if you haven't ever played in a jungle, jungles are very hard to maneuver around and stuff like that. Time Lord has been changed back to its original as well. So Time Lords will, when they right click their clock, it'll freeze players. If you haven't, you can read this if you guys want. I'm not going to read any of the other kits there. Most of them have been put back to the originals with the new addition to Gladiator, where you can actually break the tower or the little arena and jump out of it if you're anti-fall damage or MLG water. So you can also ender mage. I don't know if you guys know that you can ender mage people out of the Gladiator arena. Grappler is the recent nerf to it, has been removed and it's back to normal. So whatever that was, I don't play Grappler, so I wouldn't know. A lot of these kits I don't really care about. You guys can just read it. But the main thing I wanted to talk about this video was the cocoa bean changes. And if you haven't heard about that, it is a huge change. In theory, it doesn't seem like that big of a change, but once you actually think about it, and if you play Hunger Games a lot, you'll totally know this is a huge change. They have changed the cocoa bean recipe, so it now requires 2 cocoa beans to make 1 cocoa bean soup instead of 1 cocoa bean. Previous editions, you were able to just grab some cocoa beans on the way traveling to a swamp or whatever, throw them in there, and just pop and go. You get some soups ready for your swamp action. But now you'll have to get 40 cocoa beans in order to have the standard 20 soups. Many players just get 20 soups at the start, 20 mushrooms, 20 soups at the start of each game. Now you have to get 40 cocoa beans. And if you've never played Hunger Games or played in a jungle, even on survival or whatever, you'll know cocoa beans are hard to find. I mean, if you do find them, you can usually find a pretty big little batch of them, I like to call them veins, even though if you're referring to veins, you're talking about ores underground, but I refer to cocoa beans as veins because they sort of act in the same way. When you find one cocoa bean, little pod, there's usually a couple more around it. So that way you're able to get a lot. If you can be lucky and find the little pods, you can find a lot more. But they've changed it, so basically jungles are pretty much useless. They work the same way as deserts, and as you all know, no one really goes to deserts for soups. So pretty much anyone who went to jungles before is going to be relying on swamps. So if you've noticed in HG, it's a lot harder to find mushrooms. I've definitely noticed that. Swamps have been, they haven't said that they nerf swamps, but I think that they also nerf swamps, because back before this kit changes, this little summer HG or whatever, it was super easy. I could just go into the swamp, get a stack of each mushroom, or not even a stack, like 25 of each mushroom, with no problems in invincibility and make my swords and everything. Now I struggle to find 10 of each. I usually get 10 of each now. Struggle to find that sometimes. Sometimes I barely can find any. And that pisses me off, because I'm a player that mainly plays Hunger Games solo, and soups are completely necessary against teams. Soups are the only way I can beat teams of 3, 4, and 5. And the reason why this update has been implemented was probably to make it easier for the noobs to win. And in Mcpvp, that's mainly just an effort for them to get more players, because if a player loses straight away, they're not going to want to play anymore. They're just going to be like, oh, this is boring, I lose every time. They're trying to make it easier for new players. But this update completely obliterates the ability for solo players to win against teams, because they won't be able to find soups. So yeah, guys, that was my little rant about these recent changes. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. If you have any comments of your own or suggestions, leave a comment below. And if you want to see more of this content, I'm probably going to be doing one of these every couple of weeks. It's not going to be a super prevalent thing on my channel. It's just going to be sort of a once in a while thing if I find something to talk about. And if you want to see, I post Hunger Games videos, I do Kohi 1v1s if you're into pop, PvP. Just subscribe to my channel. I post a video probably couple times a week, since now that I'm in summer break. So yeah, just subscribe to my channel. I post good content, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you later.